This is not good. Worlds are colliding.
We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us.
And what the hell is that? You know, what is that? And I couldn't even talk. I was just amazed at what I was seeing.
This is the Beast of the Week podcast.
You boys ever been to the swamp?
Been to a marsh.
I reckon I have.
I've been to a bog.
I saw a bunch of alligators and some hicks on this boat with a big fan on the back because I was on it too, I reckon.
Whoa, are we in season 1 of True Detective, Joey? Because I think I'm here. Say time is a flat circle.
I reckon.
Nice, that was really good. Now say alright, alright, alright.
Alright.
I
Yep,
reckon.
Goddamn. Down on the corner.
Well, this week on the Beast of the Week podcast, we're bringing you to the swampy Everglades. I'm John Cannon.
Swampy Joe McClinchy.
I'm Swamp Harris.
And I'm Toria of the
Swampworth.
Swamp. Oh, Swampworth.
Swampworth.
You ain't worth your swamp.
Not many
Hey, you
things
don't
are
say
like
that.
a swamp. Unless there's delicious oils to be gathered.
All swamps are rich with oils. Palm oils.
Essential oils.
Alligator oils.
Cajun oils.
CBD oils.
Snake oils.
Dad
All
oils.
These oils. Bean oil.
Motor oils.
Ape oils.
Crawdad
oils.
oil.
Well, Toria touched on our golden nugget oil in the swamp these days. We're talking about the ape oil, specifically the skunk ape of Florida.
That stinky oil.
I've never known oil to be stinky, but
No, but the skunk ape is stinky.
it's true.
That was
Actually,
I
I
think
think oil can be stinky through animals.
yeah, I think oil-
skunks,
Plenty of stinky oils.
Skunks do the stink oil.
yeah. How dare
exactly.
you contradict me?
Yeah, Sam.
I'm so
I'm gonna bottle up some skunk ape oil and sell it at a premium as an essential oil. You don't need
Ooh.
vaccines. Have skunk ape oil.
No. That's not how you use skunk ape oil for. It's an aphrodisiac.
Oh.
If you drink some, you'll have an erection for 8 years.
I'm just thinking of an anchor man with the cologne. Like, it smells like Bigfoot's dick.
I mean, that's probably what
Smells
the
like the
skunk
inside
ape...
of a prosthetic leg.
Oh, that's cheap. That's a funk.
Funk.
That's a real funk to it.
And that's kind of what we're covering today.
We're covering a funky fella.
The funk squatch.
The funk squatch. In the Everglades of southern Florida, stories are told of a strange humanoid creature. Standing up to 9 feet tall, this creature loosely follows the description of a Bigfoot. However, its frame is lankier, its hair is redder, and it emits a horrible smell.
Yuck.
Icky.
Stories have been whispered by fishers, trappers, and other workers in the Everglades as early as the 1920s. However, when real estate development invaded the wildland in the 1970s, the beast began to stir. Since then, a Florida legend was born. The abominable swamp slob, the swamp squatch, the Barden booger, the formidable
Jeb Bush.
Skunk Ape. Oh my god. Oh no. I mean, I believe they both hand out turtles, so.
Yeah.
What?
The Barden booger.
Yeah, no, I went
Barden
through the
booger.
list.
What's Barden?
Barden is
Like Anthony
is a
Bourdain?
region. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain. Barden's a region or a town in the area, and I guess that's all they could. He's the booger.
Booger. The Barden
Hey, now-
booger.
You kids come on out from the forest. The booger's gonna come get you. So let's lay down a spicy overview of this aromatic boy.
Now, yeah, we do things a little differently down in the swamp. Now, I know you're used to that tropical Yankee boy from up north, but right now I'm just a small town cryptozoologist. Now we got the swamp ape.
The skunk ape.
He's also the swamp ape. I actually have seen swamp ape used as a way to say it.
Don't break character.
Yeah, Sam, you don't get to break character.
I'm so lost, dog. Did you hear that damn Yankee coming down? Nah. Katrina was tough on me. But
Nope.
now the appearance of the skunk ape. It's got a height that ranges from 5 to 9 feet tall. It has anywhere from red to dark brown fur or gray fur. It's named for a notably fire order, which some attribute to it living in the swampy waters of the Everglades. Leave behind a track 8 to 19 inches long. 5-toed prints, though some report 3 or 4-toed prints. Some prints really got some more color to them, but they show some sort of a handprint with knuckles and a possible thumb.
Possible thumb or
Possible.
That well was too big for me and my swamp sensibilities. Now down the swamp, things out down on the water down here is dirty. They call it that dirty water. It's not like that Yankee water. It's not all nice and clear.
the fuck?
Does this indicate that it walks somewhat quadripledically like most great apes? I don't know. Let's head on to our behavior scientist.
Your words increasingly got more vowels as you went.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's Cajun is just it's half French, and I know one thing about the French is that it's mostly vowels.
Well, I know one thing about the Cajun, they're not in Florida.
Shush. But they are the swamp people.
That was like a plantation owner after he lost most of his teeth.
I heard a tiny bit of Midwest in there, too.
There was a little bit of Midwest.
Oh,
That was a-
yeah, done a little bit of everything. Now,
It was a
think
very
about-
well traveled Everglades.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I know
came
about
home
them.
to the Everglades.
Now, one time I saw living in Illinois, and
No idea. No idea.
I don't even know what the words you're saying are.
Illinois.
Let's
Yeah, okay.
No, that is one way to say Illinois. That's normal.
We cover a lot of ways to say normal things here.
Yeah.
We most definitely do.
I guess so.
Let's
Alright.
cover behavior.
Some behavior.
All right, continue
All
about
right,
talking about this big chupacabra.
onto someone a little more literate. I can't read. Can someone line
Behavior.
behavior?
It can be heard making
can be heard
sounds
making
like
sounds
loud
like
hoots,
loud
whistles, and screams.
Whistles or screams.
That's
This
how it
bad
sounds.
boy. This bad boy is notably aggressive, though there are no deaths directly attributed to the skunk ape. But researcher Dave Shealy says people go out to the Everglades and they now come back.
Do you think that Dave Shealy is going to play an important part in this episode and will be featured later on?
No.
Okay.
Probably not.
I would forget the name then if anybody's listening. Just don't bother.
Throw it right out of your thinking caps.
That's right. People do go to the Everglades and never come back, but there's
Old
a lot of shit in the Everglades.
It's
That's-
probably
that's-
the
yeah.
alligators.
Old people, yeah.
The
That's
Everglades
just
will most-
everybody's grandparents. They just go down to Florida and never come back. Some say that they're still looking for this very same fountain of youth that Ponce de Leon thought was in Florida.
But all they found was a skunk ape.
Condominiums.
Now, it can be disputed whether the creature is, or it is disputed whether the creature is carnivorous or not. But generally, the consensus is that it is opportunistically omnivorous, like a human, and it's known for killing small game and livestock, like any good cryptid.
Yeah, they all have to kill and leave it.
Yep.
They do
rule.
love, apparently, lima beans.
I read about that.
It is the skunk ape's
lima beans.
favorite treat.
Yeah.
Is that why they smell so bad?
I'm gonna chalk that one up to the swamp.
Ah.
Yeah.
But the lima beans are not aiding in the effort.
Yeah, maybe like a little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
Mostly column swamp.
Well, yeah, a little Pantene would sort it out, but his farts are still an issue.
It's true. You don't want to be downwind from a swamp.
So what We all mosey on down here.
This is gonna be
We can't do the
rife,
whole episode
rife
like
with
this.
horrible accents.
Horrible accents.
Now,
Well,
are we gonna do February side?
one day we're gonna come across a cryptid that lines up with the poor accent that we can do, and in that day, we can die.
We need to do something that's in Louisiana
I-
because that's honestly the only thing we could do right now.
I think
This is not how people in Florida sound.
Definitely. Well, maybe in the Everglades.
Maybe.
I think the cryptid that's going to sound like us doing bad accents is this really crazy cryptid I found. Called 4 White People with a Free Tuesday. Yeah, there's a breeding population, but there's a lot hoping to stop that.
There is literally only one breeding
I think you
population
just
on this
defined
show.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A gathering of 4 more white people with a free Tuesday is actually scientifically known as a podcast.
True.
Yeah, you got a murder of crows, you've got a parliament of geese, you've got a podcast of whites. those are that's how it's all called.
Come with me, my podcast. We're going to be talking about sightings and evidence of the skunk ape.
I demand evidence.
Now, the first evidence of the skunk ape, the
No,
swamp ape,
She didn't have her chance yet. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say.
was back in February of 1971. when
We sound like the episode of The Office when they're playing the party game.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
There's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
I heard you talking to the butler.
I'm Caleb Crawdad.
Now, a fella by the name of H.C. Osborne was camped out near Fort Lauderdale. He heard a rustle in the jimmies outside. That's not a thing.
James, they had a rustle in the James.
In the James. It was wrestling the James.
Yeah.
He heard a rustling in the leaves and underbrush outside and looked out to take a peek. What he saw was an 8-foot tall, about 700-pound ape-like creature just a few feet away and smelled a horrible stench.
It must have been the Jimmies.
Yeah, it was probably the Jimmies.
He somehow shrugged this shit off for a night's sleep. Fuck.
Tori, you're like my Ron Burgundy, because over the last few weeks I've realized you read exactly what's on the notes.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Oh, I'm so glad I did it this way.
He somehow shrugged this shit off for a night's sleep. In the morning, he saw 5 toad prints. 17.5 inches long and 11 inches wide.
Someone to bring me to June 7th.
I mean, I can keep going, but
No.
No,
I
it's
don't think you
all
want
right.
that.
No, that's okay,
I
Debbie.
think we each got our section, I think.
Have yourself a sweet tea and some bubblegum shrimp and calm the fuck down. I see you getting a case of the vapors over there. You need a rest.
You saute shrimp, you fry shrimp, bake
Pickled
shrimp,
shrimp.
Coke.
pineapple shrimp, mango
I honestly
shrimp.
think that Forrest Gump's accent's a little closer to what we're looking for here.
That's Bama.
Not that far.
June 7th, 1975.
You can stop.
I'm not a smart man,
I'm gonna
but I
slap
know
you.
what love is.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what swamp is.
I know what this is. That was like Clinton at the end. June 7th, 1975. 12-year boy.
Your boy, Ronnie Stevens.
I had so much fun writing this, waiting to see how you guys react.
Yeah, you guys are just going right for it, huh? 12-year boy.
Shut up.
On the 7th of June, 1975, a 12-year-old boy, Ronnie Stevens, woke up in his beautiful home in Venice, Florida. He heard a mighty rustle in the jimmies in the duck pen outside. When he looked out to take a peek, what he saw was a 6-foot tall, dark, ape-like creature which ran away.
Guilty.
No.
Guilty.
Upon later investigation, there were tracks found, and these tracks were 8 inches long.
So what we see...
And they were found outside.
Yeah.
Not
he didn't,
inside?
he didn't go onto the house
you
for some
forgot.
fucking...
He might have.
By the duck pen.
He had just woken up. He might have gone inside, and then he's like, oh, shit, ducks.
He's like, oh, fuck.
I was just trying to grab some Nutella, but there's some fucking ducks out there. I was here for the lima beans.
He was eating the beans they were feeding the ducks. What this does show here, though, is a correlation between height and track size, which we talk a lot of inconsistencies in size in the show, but this shows a certain kind of consistency.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one in February 1971. It was 8 feet tall, and it had about an 18-inch long track.
Yeah.
This one that the 12-year boy Ronnie saw was 6 foot tall, and the foot was only 8 inches long.
Are you saying there's an inconsistency?
No, I'm saying that the
No, it
size
correlates
dictates
with
the foot
the-
size.
if
It
it's
correlates.
bigger, it's got a bigger foot.
Okay. Now I got what you're saying. I like.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like, yes, 18 inches and 8 inches are quite similar foot.
I put that weird, but what I'm saying is that ratios
There's a ratio.
are interesting because we don't see that nearly enough in these.
Now, it might not be a consistent ratio, but this does indicate that.
Mathematically, I don't know, but...
Yeah,
Isn't
it's not
8
perfect, but it's usually not perfect.
8 inches long isn't a big foot.
No, isn't like...
It's like a size 8 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, but...
That's
I mean,
smaller feet than
This
me.
thing walking around.
But it's 6 feet tall and it has a smaller foot size than
It's like me walking around in a child's shoes.
I'm gonna need to see Ronnie Stevens' feet for this one.
I wouldn't exactly say the ratio is 1-to-1.
Well, that's what happens
no,
if you don't eat
nothing
the
is.
ducks and you choose the lima beans.
Yeah. You're not gonna grow big and strong off beans.
That's not true. You will grow very large and strong off beans. I've seen cowboys.
I've seen your cat.
It's true. He's big and strong.
And full
And
of
a cowboy.
bees.
Yeah. In the late 70s, with no specific date, Donnie Hall.
Why don't we give it a date? Well, let's just say June
Yes.
June 7th, 1975.
Well, it's not that late.
June 60th.
You shut up. We all agreed. We all agreed.
June 60th, 1970-80.
Yep.
Okay.
On June 60th, 1970-80, Donnie Hall, a security guard at a nursery in Apopka, Florida, reported to the real police that while on guard, a skunk ape up and rustled out of the jimmies and attacked him,
What
tearing
kind of
his shirt.
nursery? Like a baby nursery or a plant
A
nursery?
plant one.
Okay, well,
I mean,
Probably
it's
like a preschool.
Yeah, a preschool. That's why he was guarding at night,
He's busted right out of the preschool.
to be careful about the cubbies inside.
maybe he was guarding outside of a hospital.
I think he'd be a hospital guard in that regard then.
A nursery hospital.
Yeah, there are security guards at nurseries.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the political climate nowadays. Thanks, Obama.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't even start.
Hi, welcome to Joe's Political of the Week. I'm here making everybody uncomfortable.
Welcome
and
to the
angry.
political beast, fuckface. Donnie shot the creature, but it had no effect. However, it must have had some effect because Donnie didn't die. After this report, the Florida Game and Freshwater Commission staff found a line of tracks at the nursery, but determined that they appeared man-made. However, as a 5-toed bipedal hominid, it does make sense the tracks would appear man-made, so I would like to know the size of them. But I couldn't even Google it.
Who gave this fucking guy a gun?
He's a
He's
security
guarding
guard.
trees.
I don't know, man. Trees are
Money
expensive.
trees.
Has the Lorax
Yeah.
gone too far?
We're asking the important questions here.
Tonight on the Mueller Report.
Has the Lorax gone too far?
Is the skunk ape the Lorax?
Is
Let
the
me-
skunk ape the Lorax?
Well, we might know if we venture into the future. Come with me, boys, Antoria. Come to the future with me. Here we are in the
the future
distant
sound.
future past. So in November 1977, 67-year-old Baptist pastor S.L. Watley was out chopping wood near the forest when something was rustling the jimmies. because he's a pastor, it was St. James, but
Rustling the James.
rustling the sweet baby James is near him. And he
Anyone
turned
ever think it was weird that James Taylor wrote a song to himself, Sweet Baby James?
about being
No.
a baby.
Yeah, it's about himself.
Yeah, legend.
Fair
Rock
enough.
by.
I miss the old James Taylor.
Kanye. He's like Kanye.
James Taylor and Kanye.
No, I'd say-
Indiscernible.
I'd say Cat Stevens is more like Kanye.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So he turned and caught sight of the creature, later saying it was standing upright in the middle of some palmetto bushes. And that sapsucker was at least 7.5, maybe 8 feet tall.
That was really
love-
gradual. That was really gradually diving into that accent.
All
Yeah,
that
well-
reminded me of was the Trident commercial with the "You lint liquor,
That sapsucker.
What?
sap sucker,
I don't
lint
remember that one.
liquor."
Which makes sense that they would drink the delicious sap from the palmetto bushes.
Isn't James Taylor's son James as well?
No.
I think it was about his son.
No, you're thinking Jude, and that's a different musician.
Oh, that was Ringo Starr.
Yes.
That was Ringo's baby.
Sorry, Ringo Stacks.
I'm gonna work Sapsucker into my day to day.
Ringo Swamps.
I really hope you do.
Ringo Sap.
Hey, you sapsucker. I've been trying to say potty mouth more often whenever anyone swears around me.
I like those. They're
Yeah, like,
verbal
hey.
thumbs downs.
Quit it,
You said that to me,
potty
Wyatt?
mouth. Yeah, I did.
Good.
She said like fuck shit or something like that. I was like, Jesus didn't die so that he could hear your potty mouth.
Jesus didn't die for this.
Yeah, it's true. Not
Well,
for that
we don't
kind
know.
of cussing.
That's a cool way to turn down weed.
Yeah, Jesus didn't die for this.
Jesus did not die for this. Like, what the fuck?
So make it legal just so we can let the Lord dictate our temptation. Legalize it.
Legalize it and let the sinners burn.
I think you
Yeah.
just fixed so many issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Make
that's
it
the thing
legal.
about.
God will sort them out in the end.
Yeah. Libertarianism.
Nope, don't think that's that.
Not
But-
quite, but yeah, I see. I see where you're going. At least.
Yeah. So Watley ran to his truck to grab his axe, which is, I guess, his killing axe and not his woodcutting axe.
His battle axe.
Yeah, he was just like, and my axe, and he had to go grab the double bladed.
Maybe he was
Fucking-
finished and he was cleaning up.
Could have been cleaning up, I guess.
And already put his tools away.
I do like to
His
imagine
truck, and
that
then
he has
left
the
the
woodcutter
truck.
axe, and then he has a battle axe.
Yeah, definitely.
like a
Dwarven
real
axe.
Yeah, I was just saying the dwarven axe.
Yeah, I mean,
I dig this.
yeah, I do definitely like the fact. I mean, maybe he's pastor by day, LARPer by night.
Well, most are.
He was looking to up his woodcutting skill, so that he could cut down those sweet willows.
I don't think Jesus died for that.
Well, his dad was a carpenter, so
Oh, okay.
was a big fan of making trees smaller.
Smaller and more pleasant.
That is pretty much what carpentry is.
Yeah,
folks.
like what do you do? Make trees smaller.
We're gonna make these trees real small soon.
You see those
Gonna make
trees, son? You're gonna make those real easy to sit on someday.
Oh, we're just gonna cut them and sit on the stump. No. We're gonna take the tree and make them into very small trees and stick them into other small trees until we can sit on it. So
Poetry.
And that's what this nation was founded on.
yeah, so like the mighty fucking Richard the Lion, he grabs his fucking axe and he's just like, me and this creature are gonna fucking tussle.
No,
But when he were-
say his exact quote.
Me and that creature was gonna mix it up. Like a remoulade. But when he returned, the skunk ape was gone.
Bum bum bum.
I like to
Dun,
imagine his
dun,
trunk was like a
dun.
half mile. His truck was a half mile away, and he just was running like, "Come on, stay right there," and just walked away.
Don't go anywhere.
The thing had no idea what was going on.
It's like, go get my right axe
Our
for
battle
this.
will be legendary.
And also, the ape wasn't doing anything there. But despite a smattering of stories throughout the 70s and 80s, the juicy shit comes about 20 years later. So slot that
Yeah?
Yummy.
Oh boy, let's run that
You know,
back.
you
Nope.
know what I thought of?
But
You know what would be really
Pop-Tarts.
fucking awesome? A Pokemon Snap, but cryptids.
yes,
That'd be
That would be
fucking
incredible.
dope for like an arcade game.
I don't even have banter. That would just be straight amazing.
Yeah, I would love that. Like, oh shit, I ran out of pester balls for the skunk ape.
Pester balls.
Or maybe he's
Buy
unaffected
pester
by the
balls.
pester balls because he's like he already smells bad. Maybe he's the one that wants apples.
Maybe they're his pester balls.
No, he's the one that wants lima beans.
Actually, if when we get to the Micah one, he does want apples.
That's interesting. I can't wait in this virtual game that we've created when Lauren Coleman, like when you're done a mission, he's like, "You were close."
Lauren Coleman is Professor Oak.
Yeah, dude.
He kind of looks like Professor Oak if he were American.
Professor Oak or Lauren Coleman?
Lauren Coleman looks like an American Professor Oak.
Okay, I thought you were saying like
No, Lauren Coleman's Japanese.
no.
Yep.
No, I'm looking at him. He looks like a biologist.
Yeah, Japanese.
He looks like a biologist.
he looks like a mix between like fucking what's his face from Jurassic Park, Hammond, and like Charles Darwin or some shit. Like
That's a
he's
cool.
he's
All
he's
right.
got that fucking look to him. Like that's a biologist.
Comparing the real man who discovered evolution and the fake real man who created dinosaurs is probably the most accurate description of Lauren Coleman possible.
Yeah, that's probably what he's going for.
Despite a smattering of stories throughout the 70s and 80s, the juicy shit comes in about 20 years later. So flash forward to the 90s.
That's not 90s.
No, that was the time travel noise.
I saw the sign. So,
Bye, bye, bye.
July 21st, 1997. Ocho P Fire Chief Vince Doer photographed a skunk ape. Ooh.
We got footage, folks.
We got footage here. He was driving along when a creature rustled right out of the jimmies and crossed the road in front of Doer's truck. He slammed the car to a full stop, and then he whipped out his camera and he photographed the creature when it was about 400 yards away. Initially, Doer firmly believed it was a hoax, saying, "Nah, I don't know if it's somebody playing a game or what, but I know a lot of old timers that used to be serious about it." I'm gonna do the whole thing without an accent. I feel like it's overdone now. I think someone's playing games. I just looked at it and laughed.
With a big party.
What a fucking badass. I wasn't afraid of anything. I just laughed. After hearing various corroborating stories, however, Doer's ironclad testicles softened, saying, "It's something. I ain't never said it was a skunk ape, but it's something."
He flip-flopped.
Yeah, he flipped up hard.
I don't know if he quite flip-flopped. I think he took, like, at first he was like, "It's nothing," and then he took the Play-Doh. He took the Play-Doh route, and he was just like, "It could be anything, I don't know." Thank you, Oracle of
I think he looked at the
Miami.
picture and he was like, "Well, I don't want to be wrong, so."
Well, we do have the photograph right here. So, what we're looking at.
So, viewers, if you could stop the car, pull over to the side, and look at our Instagram.
Don't stop the car.
I'm just kidding.
Don't stop the car. Don't
Well,
drive.
you should
Pull
look
over
at
the
it while
speed.
driving.
Burn your social security card. Don't pay your taxes.
Hail Satan.
Send us the Social Security, actually.
No, Sam, that's a crime, and we don't publicly do crime.
Well, not if they send a note that's like, "It's all yours."
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's fair.
So let's
Fair.
You can't use it, otherwise that's illegal.
let's go into this
we
picture
can.
here. So we're looking into a. It does look like what you'd see off the side of the road on a Florida Everglades road. You see some trees,
Some brush.
some brush, good amount of brush, good amount of brush.
A lot of brush.
And on ours, we have conveniently a circled figure, dead fucking center in this photo. Props to fucking Vince Doer.
You were close.
And
What?
You know, play Pokemon Snap?
Close.
Pokemon Snap's a
Oh.
great game. They need to reboot that.
Yeah, they do.
So you see a figure. It definitely looks humanoid. You see a head, some shoulders, and kind of a reddish brown glow off of it in the sun when it's not in the shadow. You could also, this could be 1.5 million things. I'm gonna be fair here. I see what they're saying, but I don't know. I could see it being a stump in the distance, guys.
Yeah, like if it didn't have the circle on it, I can't honestly say I'd be able to like notice that this is anything more than just a scenic shot.
There's like more stuff on the side.
I'm gonna try and enhance the photo while we continue.
Yeah, this very pixely fucking photo.
Yeah, I think I can.
If you put a circle around that, you could say that's something too.
Yeah,
I am a forensic scientist, so I think I can enhance.
Enhance.
Yeah, I can enhance. That's pretty much all we do at the lab.
Enhance.
Which is weird for a blood alcohol scientist, is that I still enhance the photo of the blood. And I can
CSI
see
Miami.
the little alcohols in the blood cells.
And they all have faces, and they're all screaming, "Yay!"
It's just a whole bunch of like belligerent blood cells with a bottle of booze and like a shaking fist.
And they have the name of the killer, real killer.
I'm picturing them all like the Fighting Irish symbol with the like hat
like the
knocked
Notre
forward,
Dame.
and they're like, yeah.
Let's fucking go. I'm gonna fight that liver today.
I'm a fucking basher, mate. Oh, the fuck you looking at?
Oh. Peaky fucking blinders.
There's 1.5 million things in this picture you could have pictured otherwise and told me it was a skunk ape, and it would look just about the same.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Vincent Dorr, okay.
It's a pick.
It's a pick.
I mean,
I do see what they're getting at and what they circled. I'm just not saying it's definitely that, especially compared to some of the other pictures we have to discuss.
oh, this man does have ironclad testicles. It had to have been something if he stopped to take a picture of it
And laughed at it.
and then laughed.
Imagine if you were say it is a hoax. Say it is what he thought it was, a guy in a suit. How long was he waiting for a car to come by to just rustle out of the jimmies and stroll across the road and just keep going?
Maybe he wasn't trying to do it for a hoax. Maybe that's just his fetish.
No,
I'm kink shaming.
I don't want this fetish. Get
Maybe
this
he
fetish
fucks
up
the
on out of
trees.
here.
I don't know.
Get on out of here.
Hey, I'm walking here.
So now there's a very important juncture in the Skunk Ape story that I am very excited to cover. Enter Skunk Ape Dave. Dave Shealy, mentioned earlier. I hope you didn't listen to our delightful ruse we gave you to forget about him.
Oh, they probably fell for it. I bet they fell for it.
You fucking tools.
Got him.
Got him.
David
Fucking got you!
David Shealy, known as Skunk Ape Dave, tends to be a polarizing figure in cryptozoology. When you search his name, there are mixed results, either calling him a total fraud or heralding him as a true believer and top-notch researcher. In fact, when asked by, do you guys know Atlas Obscura?
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I do not.
It's a cool website and a cool book, and it's like, honestly, it's something we all should be looking into. It's just like highlights in different places in the world of obscure places to go and look at. And
It's pretty cool.
it is, it's fun. And for him, he owns and operates the Skunk Ape Research Center in Ochapee, Florida. And when asked by the Atlas Obscura folks what his fascination was in searching for the skunk ape, he responded, "There's not much to do around here. It's just something that's interesting. It never gets boring. I've fished and hunted all my life. I'm fish and hunted out." So basically, this entire podcast has his same motivations. Why do you like to do this? It's way more fun than the other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all fished and hunted out.
Like, I could sit here and read about trigonometry, or I can make a difference in this world.
You should do trigonometry.
I don't know if it's so one or the other with those two.
No.
Sure.
No. Also, like us, or at least me, I don't know about these fucking degenerates I spend my time with. He's a major proponent of skunk ape and other cryptid preservation, conservation, opposing poaching or harassing of the majestic fucker.
Definitely. Like, if we're gonna take the approach of like cryptozoology being, a possible endangered, undiscovered species, then of course we should be, protecting.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta know what it
wildlife.
tastes like just once, and then you're
Just
fine.
once.
Like
Just
you just
take
go
a bite.
Just take a bite of it.
Don't kill it, take a bite.
Get a good whiff of it, bite into it, and it's over.
get a good cut of meat, like off its like ham, and then
you slit its throat, you keep its head up on your wall, and you eat its
what?
body, and then you're like, oh, I'm done. Now the rest of them can live in peace because I know what it tastes like.
Okay.
That's pretty dark, Joe.
In fact, he says
Joe?
that if you spot one, you should wait 5 days before publicizing the event so the skunk ape has time to clear the area.
So you have time to digest it.
It's time to hide your sins.
I wouldn't recommend eating this thing. It sounds actually like it'd be terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, ew.
Yeah, it would
To all of our Florida listeners,
do not.
We already don't eat monkey or any kind of ape.
Was that
That's
based
already
Was that a
no-go.
flavor choice though?
Oh, down to flavor.
Yes.
Still no. Yeah.
All right.
And I eat the worst things. I would not eat this.
flashback.
We found you want to eat a human liver, but you
Yes,
don't
sir.
want to eat a ape.
A skunk.
I can second this.
This one's smelly.
It's a stinky ape.
Yeah, the liver will be prepared.
Some cheeses are stinky.
Yeah.
Okay, those are different.
Well,
Don't
how do
talk
you
about
know?
go-
We
don't-
got all these lines being drawn where
Hey, maybe you could spread them
know.
on a nice cracker.
I just didn't see the dots that he connected. They didn't have a 1 and 2 on them. You're not going to make a picture of a giraffe like that.
6?
How are you going to make a picture of a giraffe connecting the dots like that? Impossible.
7.
In conjunction with his efforts in the field of cryptozoology, he also owns and operates the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters, as mentioned. Along with informing the public of this beautiful, beautiful cryptid, they also host Everglade tours. I think they have some fishing trips down there, too. They house a zoo of various Everglade wildlife, some crocs, some snapping turtles, and they have several rental campgrounds. I would be really interested in going, paying a visit down
It's
here.
like Disney World for us.
Pretty much, yeah. For fucking weirdos, that's great. Why are we bringing him up now, though? On September 8th, 1998, in Collier County, Florida, Skunk Ape Dave took 27 photos of a skunk ape after a long stretch of 8 months where he waited in a tree stand after baiting for a skunk ape to capture evidence. And Sam and Toria, I believe you have some information on how to bait a skunk ape.
But hold on, real quick. 8 months in a tree?
This is this dude's shit.
8
No, he did
months?
not. He did not live in the tree,
No,
Joe.
he'd go up there and wait there. Like, he
For
didn't
8
just
months.
sit in the tree.
Every day.
Yeah,
for 8
you
months.
fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
The way it's
He went
worded says
whole.
he waited in a tree for 8 months. So I'm going to choose to ignore what you guys are saying and live in my own reality. Thank you.
We all have choices to make.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I'm very pro-choice.
All right.
Bringing it back to Joe's political corner.
Yeah, here we are in the corner, everybody.
We're all huddled in the corner, and Joe's just standing
huddled,
above us like I
Screaming.
just caught a whiff of a reptilian.
The best way to lure a skunk ape that we saw that our very own Skunk Ape Dave do. The first thing he said is that, as mentioned before, lima beans. This little buddy's favorite treat.
I like lime.
But
Snicky snack.
But Skunk Ape Dave has now decided to refrain from using lima beans.
Oh, why?
He feels that would disrupt the skunk ape's digestion and things like that.
Well, not necessarily his digestion, but he decided that it's not a good idea to try to separate him from his natural food source.
Really?
Because it could lead to, like, dependency, kind of like how you're not supposed to, like, feed wild deer or foxes or coyotes.
That's noble.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
So
why lima
fair.
beans?
Just likes them.
So weird.
If it works,
I'm
it
wondering
works.
what prompted him to, like, try lima beans in the first place.
I wonder how long he spent figuring that out, too. It took him 8 months to get the 27 pictures, of which only one was released to the public. But, from your point, I think it does give great testament to where Skunk Ape Dave's priorities lie. Like, believe him or not, love him or hate him, he genuinely cares that this animal continues to exist. And even if that is something that he is pulling the fleece over eyes with, he really cares about the environment of the Everglades. And I thought that was really neat. Because he has a Skunk Ape Research Center, but also he has tours. There's a museum about Evergladers, which were the people who worked the Everglades back in the day. Like, this is his thing. He just also likes the skunk ape thing.
Yeah.
And I really respect that.
If we're thinking that it could possibly be a hoax that, like, he co-opted, or not co-opted, but, like, heard this story growing up or whatever, and it's like, let's get some proof so that it can aid in environmental efforts. That's
Exactly.
a pretty
Just-
fun way to do that.
Yeah, honestly,
Absolutely.
if this is all a hoax that he's spreading, the results are very positive.
Yeah.
So but you brought up a good point, because what's notable in that because you brought up that he may have heard of this as a kid. Most skunk ape sightings are spontaneous, sporadic, and it doesn't usually happen to people again. Skunk ape Dave has seen it at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And the first of those was when he was on a hunting trip with his family at 10.
Wow.
And since then, it's become a lifelong fascination for him. And so we got the picture that came from this right here. So let someone break down what we're seeing here.
Frolicking.
Yeah.
Frolicking is a
Way to put
great
it.
word, yeah.
It's a
Truly
pretty
a frolic.
large grassy area with some trees and bush in the far background, but where the skunk ape is pretty middle of the clearing.
Mm-hmm. It looks like he's about to start singing like "The Hills Are Alive" with the sound of music.
He's got like one arm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like the other one kind of bent. Like he's probably practicing karate.
Yeah, the grass looks pretty tall. You can only see up to his waist or so.
Yeah. It looks like he might be squatting, like maybe
Yeah.
he was mid-stride, or maybe he was mid trying to take a shit.
What if he just took a picture of the skunk ape taking a shit?
That's the only one he released.
That's why he's so aggressive. He's like,
Pretty
just give me that
fucking
picture
rude.
back.
Can I please just shit in peace? I am the Skunk Ape.
Skunk.
I'm the Skunk Ape. Let me have this peace, please.
Compared to Dora's photo, this one is way more convincing to say, like, I see what you're looking at here by a long shot.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know. That's
But honestly, like,
I don't know. I got nothing like really interesting to say, but like, it's not like it's out in the fucking trees. I am trying to enhance this image still, but
No,
I'm getting some good stuff.
basically, like, you could explain it away like you explain any sighting away, guy in a suit, bear, other animal, whatever. But it is clear that something's
doesn't
there.
look like a bear.
Yeah, no, the arms are too mobile.
The arms are too
Yeah.
mobile, and I don't think that bears have that sort of hinge at
Yeah,
their waist.
You're right.
Where
you're right.
if they're up on their behind legs, I don't think they can bend at like what a human's waist would be.
You're right. you're
Without
right.
getting on all fours.
Yeah, based on that, it's definitely something that's bipedal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a big part of that like video that I showed you guys was like that thing gets up on all fours and it's not.
Describe
On two.
that video to our listeners.
All right, so it's this video of this dude. I think the name of the video is like real skunk ape sighting, stabilized, enhanced with still shots. But there's actually like a video. It's from like I saw skunk ape help me or something like that.
Something in
pretty
the
much
forest
look-
help
yeah.
me or something
Yeah.
like that.
And it's this like thing. Definitely, I mean it's clearly a hominid. It can go on 2 feet for sure, as it does at the very end of the video.
Right.
This is the type of video where, you know, I can't, like, usually with cryptids, we like to say it's either a hoax, a cryptid, or an animal that's from around there.
Right.
This one takes out the animal from around there almost entirely. It's either a hoax or it's a fucking cryptid.
There's no
'Cause
middle
it's-
grounds.
No, it's like tearing bark off a tree and shit, and
Very aggressively.
Yeah.
like ripping.
But not even
Yeah.
like
I
bark,
wouldn't
it
even
was like
say,
parts of the tree.
I wouldn't say aggressively. I'd say deliberately.
Deliberately is a yeah, that's a
Deliberately,
good
it
way
looks
say
to me like an animal stripping the bark away to look for like termites or other like insect-like creatures.
Which, honestly,
that
I could see that
live in-
fitting into the skunk ape's appetite.
Well, I'm pretty certain that, I mean, I could be very wrong, but I'm pretty certain a lot of gorillas and stuff, I think in the wild they will, I think it's gorillas, maybe I could be wrong on the animal, but they like do the dipsticks thing where they
Chimps
they like
do that.
take chimps, that's what it is, where they'll dip it into the anthill and then eat off of the stick.
Yeah.
And it was kind of reminiscent of that.
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
It's a really good like compared to I digested a lot of cryptid videos and I hadn't seen that one till Sam showed it to me like 10 minutes before recording. It is a great video. I'm going to post it.
Yeah, if anything.
I rarely give these things credit.
That
when I
video was
see the videos.
spooky.
That one was Yeah, that was
There was an element to that was definitely more eerie than a lot of these.
like towards the end. The way this thing stands up was just
It's fucking eerie.
it's like a person.
Yeah.
It's how we all stand up.
And the thing that like keeps me like easy to say a guy in a suit, but just the way it was able to manipulate the fucking bark of that tree.
It was ripping off pretty big pieces.
Yeah, with a good amount of force.
Yeah, it was fucking that tree up.
Yeah.
The first pull it had was like this loud snap and everything. I was like,
Yeah, it wasn't like a rotted tree by any, or maybe mildly, but not. It's impressive. We're gonna post it.
Yeah, we definitely need to.
So we have his picture, and there's actually one picture that I think is the most famous picture of the skunk ape. It's kind of like the surgeon's photo of the skunk ape, and it's
Skunkins photo.
the skunkins photo. And in the skunkins photo, it's a big ass, scary fucking orangutan looking thing, kind of obscured by some palm looking leaves, and he's just scary.
It looks like it has like an old man beard.
It does look like it has an old man's beard. It's
It's definitely
Like
the closest.
it kind of just
photo.
makes me giggle.
He spooks me, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, it does kind of look like an animatronic.
It does look like, it looks like a Yeti at a ride or something.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks like a dark furred Yeti.
Good call. I mean, I guess that's what a Bigfoot is, but
Yeah,
True.
they're all a part of the Bigfoot like species, right? Is it
Yeah.
Bigfoot or Sasquatch species?
Sasquatch is a Bigfoot.
Okay, gotcha. So it is.
Sasquatch is the Northern California, Pacific Northwest Bigfoot.
Gotcha. That's that.
Sasquatch is a square, Bigfoot is a rectangle.
Yes. That's an excellent way to put it.
Thank you.
In October 2000, an anonymous source sent along 2 photos of an orangutan-like creature in their yard, along with a letter to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Department. The source claimed they wanted to remain anonymous to avoid having people on their property. The letter read, in part,
Enclosed, please find some pictures I took. My husband thinks it is an orangutan. Is
No.
someone missing an orangutan?
No, you pronounce that right.
I'm pronouncing it like a biologist, Tori. We don't say it right.
orangutan.
I don't believe that anyone
hate
actually
this.
says that like that.
I was shocked to find there wasn't a G at the end of it today.
Orangutan.
I've been saying that
No,
my whole life.
you're thinking of the drink Tang.
I'm old.
which has an orangutan
Orangutan.
as a mascot.
I'm always thinking of Tang.
A delicious astronaut drink. Oh, that. My husband thinks it's an orangutan. Is someone missing an orangutan?
What a question!
Love it.
I love
Is someone missing an orangutan?
I love every single quote from this. Every quote from somebody else that spotted the skunk ape is just gold.
It is in a crouching position in the middle of standing up from where it was sitting. Thank you for
Yes.
describing the act
Yes.
of fucking crouching. It froze as soon as the flash went off. I heard the orangutan walk off into the brushes, into the jimmies. I judge it as being about 6.5 to 7 feet tall. As soon as I realized how close it was, I got back to the house. It had an awful smell that lasted well after it had left my yard. The orangutan was making big, "Whoop, there it is" noises. It just says whoop.
He just
But-
beatboxing over there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Honestly, that sounds like it. I'd imagine it just whoop. Yeah, see, that sounds like an ape.
Can you do that again?
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
I think howler monkeys, don't they like
I think a lot of them do.
It sounds.
I whooped too hard.
You woomped yourself out over there
I just whooped myself into a whipple.
to a wimple.
Into a whimperl. For 2 nights prior, which is a weird way of saying that, it had been taking apples that my daughter brought down from up north off our back porch. It only came back one more night after that. Why the fuck are you just leaving them on the porch?
What? Your apples.
I don't have a porch, so
Well, that'll do it.
Sad.
Nothing quite like porch apples.
I keep them in the fridge, actually.
Oh, you heathen. The porch is nature's fridge.
Toria does. Who knows how old those apples are? I don't ever know.
I went
How
to eat
old?
one today. I need to bake with them. They're a little too soft to eat. but
I got what you mean now. They're old.
no.
They're old bad
old.
apples.
They're
You're not gonna bake with them, Tori. We're on a diet. What the fuck are you gonna make?
I'll bring it.
Something for Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it to
That's
Joey.
fair. That's fair. Been taking them apples. It only came back one more night after that, and took some more apples that my husband left in order to get a better look at it. Okay, now we are Pokemon Snap.
Yep.
We got a dog back there now.
Like on purpose?
Yeah, so they just got a dog after it had been there for
I imagine it's just a raccoon on a leash. We have a dog now, and as far as I can tell, it hasn't been back.
The dog's
want
just
any
actually a
fuss.
skunk ape on all fours, like,
They haven't noticed. All these dang apples for me.
day
Dogs
35.
love apples.
Day 35. My dog used to eat apples. It was hilarious.
I bet when a dog eats an apple, it's like
Yeah, it was. I'd hold it, and it would be like a people eating it. It was adorable.
It was like
just
a
it's
people.
pretty much like Noah eating an apple. It's just
Oh my god, the mouth noises.
it's like if you took out all the pleasure from a water slide and then only stabilized the slosh.
Oh.
That's how our old housemate ate apples.
Ah.
It was the worst.
Very true.
It was the worst. He was like,
It's like he was practicing cunnilingus on an apple.
wasn't even good
Yeah.
cunnilingus either.
I didn't say he was good at it. That's why he was practicing.
He must have been good at it,
Yeah, he got laid more
definitely-
than anybody in that house.
except Vicky.
Well, yeah, but that's just statistics.
Yeah, that's just gonna happen.
That's just nature.
Yep, that's just nature. I don't want any fuss or people with guns trapezing around behind our house.
Piecing.
Traipsing.
Oh,
Trapezing.
Trapezing about.
They're just doing
The
fucking
Flying Gambino
acrobatics.
brothers.
Damn it! How
At
did
the
all
ver-
the trapezes come here?
at the
When
very
these
least.
trapezes get set up.
Oh.
Ow.
At the very least, this animal belongs in a place like Busch Gardens.
That's my favorite part
Oh
of this
my!
quote.
Wait, what?
That's the most
The very
Florida
least.
fucking
At the
thing.
very least.
It's the most
At the very
Florida
least,
thing.
it should be in Busch Gardens.
Do you got an escapee from Disneyland?
Oh my god!
Wait, World is
One
in
of them.
Florida.
At the very least, it should be in Busch Gardens.
At the very least.
What the
Busch
fuck does that?
Gardens
What
is
does that
not-
mean? What does that mean? At the very
It-
least, it should be there.
it's
It
a
should at
theme
least.
park.
Yeah, it's a zoo
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, it shouldn't be walking about in nature.
I mean,
It should
she's
be in a
pretty
theme
convinced
park.
it's just an orangutan that's just got a bad case of the Mondays.
That somebody is missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
anybody
he was
missing
like,
an
oh, it's an escaped monkey.
I mean, I don't know. I got a Captain Crunch box once, and there was an explorer on the back that said, "I seem to have misplaced my marsupial."
Did you find it?
I didn't finish the maze.
Fuck.
Was it in the cereal? It was probably in the cereal.
They're not allowed to do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, some fucking
right.
idiot kids choked and ruined like everything. An idiot kid chokes, and now we can't have fun things.
Know what that reminds me of? I haven't had a Happy Meal in a long time.
It's bullshit. They don't even give you fries anymore.
Yeah, they
What?
do.
No,
You
they
get
will.
apple slices.
Yeah, you get like little things. You
You
gotta
have
choose.
to ask for the apple slice.
Yeah, you just had a mom that said they don't have fries anymore.
I just shouldn't have to specify that I don't want apples when I go to fast food.
I got
Well,
apples. one time.
John,
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah.
That's where my prejudice comes from.
From that one time I got the apples.
Yeah.
and a chocolate milk.
It really upset me.
I just wanted the toy.
Well, you could have gotten
Yeah,
a toy
no,
and eaten like a goddamn grown child rather than a parented child.
Yeah, I was mostly curious, and let me tell you, there is something not right with those apples, as you could imagine.
There's a lot of bad apples in this episode.
There's a lot of bad apples in this episode.
God damn.
I got a stuffed animal keychain of a Beanie Baby from a Happy Meal like a year ago.
Do you need to blow your nose?
Do you want to? Tori, you have the best stories every week. Every week, you're like Fritz Weatherby over here. It's fucking laying down that Mother Goose pipe.
Hey, Sam,
Hey,
fuck off. I have great stories and you love them.
You should bring some to the show once.
Oh!
Heyo!
I think Kratos actually tells better stories in the new God of War than you do,
Yeah, probably.
which is pretty bad because he's just like, There was
Can you guys stop bullying me?
We only invited you on the show to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
So the person in the letter continues. Why haven't people been told that an animal this size is loose?
That's a reasonable question.
For the love of God and all that is holy, why haven't people been told that an animal this size is loose?
Is that a Don
But
Hertzfeldt
also, like,
reference?
what does she think wildlife is?
Not a fucking 9-foot tall monkey.
What do you call a whale? A whale is that size and
Not a
free.
9-foot tall monkey, I sure fucking
If a whale was in my pond, I'd ask people why no one told me.
when did my pond get this big also?
Okay, fair.
Yes, and.
Yeah, those are really bad analogies. What if it was a whale?
If it was a whale, I'd have more questions.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean just like large animals exist
Horses.
in nature.
Large
Horses.
things exist in general, but if they put a fucking skyscraper in a small town, people are gonna have a problem with that.
I buy horses.
I bought every horse I ever seen.
Want to make some cash fast?
Yeah.
Big horses, small horses, weird horses.
I bought
Miniature
every horse
horses.
I ever seen.
Easy way to earn fast cash.
I'm a working man. I bought every horse I ever seen.
Let's finish this quote.
Okay. Please look after this situation. I don't want my backyard to turn into someone else's circus. So
Yeah,
it probably was trapezing. That's a trapezing animal right there,
I think
folks.
that is.
If you saw a cryptid doing some backflips, that'd be pretty cool.
I'd run away.
I'd want it to turn into their
yeah.
circus. I'd sell tickets like, hey guys, you want to see Bigfoot do a flip?
I think it depends on the.
$3,000.
It's called big flips.
Big flips. No, they're small flips though. He's not that good at them.
You give him a
He needs a
skateboard
trampoline.
and get him to do an ollie.
He does that.
An ollie.
He does that fake backflip you do on trampolines where you land on your upper back and then flip all the way around. That's what he's about.
Yeah, baby, you know it.
Now, I'm very excited about this last part to
Please.
build off of this story.
Me.
My boy, cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman, I'm coming to Portland, baby, personally investigated this event, noting that he would conduct meaningful analyses, this is a quote, meaningful analyses of the eye shade, the pupil diameter, the dentition, the tongue, hair color, and exhibited behavior of this apparent primate. Now, this is why I love Lauren Coleman. That's real shit to look at. I don't know how to do that.
No one does, except for Lauren.
Lauren's the boy.
Good boy, Lauren.
I love you, Lauren.
Now,
Okay, well, now he's not coming on the show.
Yeah, no, Joe, you have to tone it down just like a little bit.
Don't worry, we'll
Please
take
call-
care of it in post.
Please calm your Laurens.
calm your Laurens.
My Laurens are on fire though.
Oh.
Now, I admittedly, when I was looking into his posts on this, they peter out around 2001, but a post did say that Coleman concluded that the animal that was photographed, quote, is not a costume or a fake, or even an escaped zoo animal. So it's kind of a, I don't know, he didn't confirm nor deny it, but that's interesting. In the years since, many cryptozoologists have challenged the photo's validity, going the natural route. It's a guy in a suit. And in May 2006, a Japanese primate specialist, Mitsuko Chiden, said that the ape in question is actually a costume that she is personally familiar with that came in a variety of colors. It had the teeth. It was a high quality costume, as can be seen by the picture. She also points to the fact that the picture lacks any body, arm, or leg definition. Now, I'm looking at this picture right now. I don't know about her. I see a bicep and I see shadows. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if I go with that because I do see some definition in
Was
this.
the costume just like a shawl that he put on over himself?
It's
A shawl?
A shawl.
A shawl.
It's I mean, I'm assuming it's like your typical gorilla costume. I wore one for Halloween once, and it just. This is a big thing. It's big.
Yeah.
Where you find? Well, you got fucking the actor for Jason playing that. That's a big boy.
I mean, I guess that's
wet.
the perk with still frame photos.
True.
If it's not from a video, you could just prop it up on a big enough structure.
That's true.
Make it look like it's...
You got a point, but even proportionally, like, it's big. Its arms are huge.
I don't know. I'll be honest, it seems like a long way to go out of your way for this, and if it's a costume that she's familiar with that comes in a variety of colors, I don't know, that just seems a little... It seems a little bullshit to me.
I'm not saying that it's definitely not a costume, because, like, if I zoom in on the face, like, the teeth do seem kind of... The face itself seems a little kind of mushed, but at the same time, I don't know. That did give me the biggest question of all of it, but it's a good photo of a cryptid. Either way, it's spooky.
Yeah.
Seems like she said no for the sake of saying no.
Kind of does feel like this. Feels like a party pooper.
I don't know why. It just seems like that's the only... She's like, well, you can't see the body. I was like,
Maybe
well,
she has something
the fuck?
to hide.
Maybe she is.
The skunk ape.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're on to you, primate specialist.
Oh, I was going to say she's a trapeze artist, but yeah, that makes more sense.
Who has more to protect than somebody whose job is saying, I know all the monkeys, though?
That's true. That's true. And this is a monkey she was not aware of, and now she looks like a fool.
Goddamn buffoon.
Mitsuko Chiden, we're coming for you.
Despite all the naysayers.
On the next podcast, I hope you listen.
This seems very
No.
aggressive to this
Yeah.
poor Japanese primate specialist.
Despite these naysayers, similar sightings have persisted in this region to this day. Skunk Ape is one of the more cited cryptids that we've covered so far.
How many citations does he have?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Nerd.
How many do you need
With
for
your
it to
nerd
count?
speak. 7.
Well, 7.
Many as possible.
He has 7.
Well, then 7.
Many citations. One of them is public indecency.
Listen, he has enough.
One
I
of them
meant
is apple
authorship.
theft.
Yeah, this fucking apple thief.
He's a thief.
Yeah, he wrote a couple. He wrote actually a couple research articles. How to best steal apple.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He's got scatter plots all about it.
So, this boy,
This lad.
What could this creepy bitch be?
I gotta say, this is one of the more compelling stories. I'm not gonna say I'm I'm not saying convincing, but compelling. Skunk Ape has a narrative. It's
Can
great.
you pull up a map of Florida so we can see how large the Everglades are? Because it is pretty large. Yes. It is pretty... it's a pretty large area of Florida. And then if you think about like how large that is compared to other states too,
It's at least
there's a
bigger than-
lot of space to travel around. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is like non-navigatable because the fucking
the
Everglades.
It's the bayou of Florida.
Yeah. You like you can't get around. So there's a good chance.
I'm gonna buy you a drink.
So basically, we're talking about the very tip of Florida. Pretty much to the east would be Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and to the west.
Lakeland.
What's that?
Lakeland.
Yes.
To the west.
Oh, yeah. And the Big Cypress Swamp is basically the general region, and it's been seen as far as the Keys. Some even say it goes up out of Florida. I haven't found many sources, but a few have claimed that.
Really?
A few have. Into the Carolinas even, but honestly, I would make
That's
the
way
argument
up there.
I would make the argument that if we're discussing Bigfoots as a umbrella species, it's just their own thing that's similar because of the region, you know?
Yeah.
Like the red squirrel and the mauve squirrel.
Gray squirrel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will say the skunk ape could very well be just an unidentified species of ape.
I think that's like the most reasonable answer, you know? As listeners and you guys definitely should know by now, I'm a big proponent of all these just being an animal we don't know. I don't think it has magical properties or anything.
I don't see how this thing could be an animal, though. I mean,
What do you mean?
I could see how it could be an animal. I'm saying like it could be an animal that we don't know, but what makes that not a skunk ape? It's definitely
No, I'm not saying it's...
bipedal.
I'm saying that...
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, skunk ape is the common term that we've been given, we've given to an previously unidentified species.
Yeah, it's basically, you know, I harp on this all the time, but it basically goes back to things like not thinking the platypus is real and shit like that. Like, just because we haven't observed it in a scientific sense doesn't mean that it's not real.
I think we can definitely clarify this as a USO, an unidentified swamp orangutan.
USOs are actually unidentified
I know,
submerged
I know.
objects.
I know.
Open your eyes, sheeple.
I'm watching the video again of the thing, and it just seems like so ape-like to me.
It's so ape. Yeah, it's definitely in the videos, in the pictures, and everything. It is distinct from every animal we know in the region. Really.
Yeah. Now I will say one thing that our good friend David Shealy is that it's very clear that there are, at least to him, a breeding population.
Go into that, because I didn't get a chance to go too far into all of his. He's spent like 40 years talking about the skunk.
Yeah, there's like some videos of him like way younger, and now he's like not. So yeah, no, he says that there's a good chance that there is a breeding population, at least around where he is, of about 7 to 8 skunk apes. He does say that they vary in height. I don't know, if he has identified anything as a female or a male. Like, he clearly hasn't been like, I saw them fuck once. But because
if anyone
he
has,
finds,
though, it's him.
Yeah, but because he says he finds juvenile prints, there is a breeding population.
I really like getting that information, because that's like such a big question mark on so many of our episodes.
And that's pretty important. I don't know if 7 is a breeding population, but, enough that it could, I guess, survive.
What if we're talking more of a nuclear family type thing here, and he just lives near one?
Possible.
Good.
That's possible, but...
So, I just had a thought.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of ties in with the breeding population thing. What if the skunk ape came from an escaped gorilla, like from way back before, like, a zoo would actually report the fact that they lost a gorilla, and it somehow got out, either from a circus or a zoo or something, and was able to continue by mating with some other animal that's also in the swamp. And it has now become its own, thing.
I don't think that's how...
I don't think there's anything compatible to mate with.
You need
swamp.
something...
I don't really know much about swamp ecology.
There in the Everglades, there's no apes. There's not even fossil records of apes. There's not as far as recognized science has to say about it, there's no reason why anything like this would exist there.
It's not incredibly suitable for ape living.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not at all.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Positively, absolutely not.
So why does this thing?
Well, there's plenty to eat.
Typically, they would.
Especially with, there's more than just fucking whatever they're called, lima beans out there. Like there's especially.
I'm not even sure there are lima beans out there.
Also, apes are generally vegetarians.
That's true. By and large, primates aren't regularly carnivorous. But I would...
I think they can be?
I would wager to bet that they would be opportunistic omnivores, and in the event that you have, a skunk ape, it's living in the Everglades, it's not necessarily its suited environment, but in its adaptation has learned how to eat the little... I read Skunk Ape Dave supposedly had collected stool samples of a skunk ape, and found things like, basically evidence that it raids, bird nests and stuff like that. It's a scavenger.
Nuts and seeds.
Yeah.
Just looking at what gorillas eat from WWF, gorillas stick to a mainly vegetarian diet, feeding on stems, bamboo shoots, and fruits. Western lowland gorillas, however, also have an appetite for termites and ants, and break open termite nests to eat the larvae.
I'd be curious, could you look up orangutans' eating habits? Because that's what this is more often compared to.
I get that it is, but from all the pictures, it honestly kind of looks more like a gorilla to me.
I don't know, the one from 2000 definitely is orangutan-like to me.
Yeah, it looks really like an orangutan.
And the eyes, the color, and everything.
The shape of the head is mostly what does it for me.
So this is from the Orangutan Foundation. Hold on.
God bless
Excuse
America.
me. Sorry. So this is from the orangutanfoundation.org. They primarily eat ripe fruit along with young leaves, bark, flowers, honey, insects, vines, and the inner shoots of plants. One of their preferred foods is the fruit of the durian tree, which has a very strong
That
smell
smells like skunk.
and tastes somewhat like a sweet, cheesy garlic custard.
Jesus Christ, the fucking phrase. Sweet garlic cheese. That's...
None of those
That
words
pungent.
go together.
Pungent.
That fruit now brought to you by Olive Garden.
That's literally how it's phrased on this website.
I fucking believe you.
Jesus.
Well, I also wanted to point this out, but lima beans are just do not
Just
grow
not the
in
area.
Florida. I don't know why. I'm like, I don't think they're from there.
I
From
like.
South America.
Thank you for needing to look that one up. No.
That's why I'm like, what the fuck? Why did he was like,
I'm serious,
lima
Joey.
beans.
Thank you for looking that up, Joe.
Lima beans. So I think this thing could actually be plausible because it definitely has enough resources around it where it could potentially be an apex, not necessarily a predator, but if it needs to be, it can. It's got the space. The Everglades is really large. The only thing I don't think is beneficial to it is that it's covered in hair and that it's like the goddamn surface of the sun in the Everglades with like 90% humidity.
It could be like dogs, though, where the hair kind of helps them stay cool.
It's true.
Okay.
Or maybe,
okay.
maybe it's kind of like elk. They hang out in mud all the time. They smell bad, but that cools them down during the day, and then they go around at night more often.
Now, see, that could work, actually, because this thing's in a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shortage of mud there. It would have to be like a smaller population just because of... Do you think it because of the resources or this thing just wants to be left alone? Is there problems reproducing? Because, I don't know. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and say, nah.
All right, meh. All right.
Meh. Okay.
Nah.
I like that.
Sam, your stance in defense.
All right, so I think that out of all the things that we've seen, especially with, if we're going to go after experts, that they know that there is, a breeding population, we have an idea of what it could be. Luckily, with Bigfoot and hominids, there's not many other options out there, as far as we know.
Right.
You know, it's not like they're like, oh, well, I mean, it could be anything walking around on 2 feet. No, not true. Can't, really. We're really the only, group of species that can do that. So that's nice. Breeding population, they would have enough food for that breeding population. It's not huge, like Nessie, where it's like, what the fuck? How is this going to eat all that food?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say, out of all the cryptids we've seen, this is the most likely.
I'm gonna agree. I think it's definitely plausible. What with how much of our world it remains unexplored and unable to be explored, I think it's very possible that this is just a slight variation of some type of ape, or maybe, a whole different subtype of creature that, might be related to apes or hominids or something.
An elusive one.
An elusive one. Definitely elusive, but I mean, if it can survive in the swamp, I'm not sure why it would want to go to something as noisy as human civilization.
I think that's how the people in the swamp feel, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
I
fair.
mean, I definitely can understand the more secretive sort of behavior, and that one video that Sam and I watched definitely looked super ape-like, so I'm gonna say yeah.
All right. I mean, on my part, we're all in the same boat. This thing basically operates like a primate Bear Grylls, where it just kind of survives. It doesn't, it just lives a life. It kind of acts like a dude living out in the woods, and that's what makes it the most plausible to me. This thing isn't supernatural. There's no, it's literally just a creature, and that's honestly what I like the most when I research these, because it leaves the most possibility. It doesn't back itself into a corner by being like, and then it shot light out of its eyes. It's like,
yeah, it stopped my car.
Yeah,
it started talking to
this
me.
thing showed up, spooked people, got territorial, and left. That's all it did.
Yep.
We do have the benefit of a guy who's devoted his life to it to provide some legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But you've all said, if there's anything we've covered that I give any legitimacy to, it would be the skunk ape.
I would also agree that it's probably at the top of my list for most plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of our episodes. I'm trying to think of one that is more likely. And
The African
Maybe not more
dinosaur.
likely,
What
but-
is it called again?
Mukele Mbembe.
Yeah.
Mukele and Mbembe is
See, I fucking love that one.
That was a fun one.
Love that one.
Definitely.
But I think the Skunk Ape's more plausible.
This one tops that plausibility by a
for
lot.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Even if it's not as fun as a giant dinosaur, it's still pretty.
It's still pretty fucking fun though.
Still pretty awesome.
So there you have it, folks. That's our take on the skunk ape. We all are rooting for it to be real, basically.
I love this.
Skunk ape is an absolute pleasure to learn about. I love skunk ape.
All he does is steal apples.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Tears a guy's shirt and gets shot and just kind of goes. It's fine.
Sometimes he was probably looking at that guy saying, "Just pop it off, baby.
Yeah, you look a little hot, buddy. Why are you so
You look a little
stuffy?
Let me help you.
Pop your top."
Pop. That's.
But instead he said, "Whoomp."
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus.
listeners, if you live in the Everglades, maybe leave out some apples for your friendly neighborhood skunk
Just
ape.
pop off them tops.
Or just
Just pop off them tops.
Pop 'em right off.
Leave out some apples.
either leave out the apples for Florida Man or Skunk Ape.
Exactly.
Could be
Maybe
the
one of the
same
same.
Both
That's true.
both could probably use the nutrients.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of nutrients in an apple?
In the skin only, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
they don't eat the skin.
Oh, well, that's
If
orangutans.
they're apes. Well, it's very close to an orangutan.
Well,
Florida
that's a
man
debate.
might eat the skin.
He eats a lot of skin.
Yeah.
Skunk Ape, let us know what you think on social media at The Truth is Stupid on Facebook and Instagram, and at Truth is Stupid on Twitter.
Leave us a nice review. 5-star that bad boy. If you love us as much as we love all of you individually.
Love you all.
Which we just do so much. Love you.
You are
He's a kiss.
you're the
Kiss,
fire
kiss.
of my lorns.
And if you have any spooky stories or suggestions on cryptids that you think we should cover, drop us a line, let us know. Thrill us with your hometown spooky stories.
I want to know. I want to know.
I will say anything
Can you tell
ask
me?
me to. All right, well, stay spooky, folks. See you next week. I'm John Cannon.
I'm Sam Harris.
And I'm Toria Ainsworth.
Love you.
Peace.
Stay spooky.
Bye. Well, yeah, dude, it's like not winter
Hey,
anymore.
balls, kid. Hey, fucking balls. Socks. Okay, I got that out of my system.
Yeah, you gotta let it out.
Yeah.
We've been spending so much time in the South. I'm just like, oof.
Gotta get back to my roots.